These are some Bluetooth ear condoms that I use a lot for woodworking and other various projects. Recently, the earpiece broke. The replacement part was about $20, so I decided just to try to 3D print it. And here's the process that I use to do that. I almost exclusively use OnShape for anything custom that I am planning on 3D printing. The first thing that I do is change everything into millimeters because I think fractions are stupid. The way that OnShape works is that you select a sketch plane, sketch a rough part, and then dimension it. I drew a corner rectangle and then used a pair of calipers to find the dimension of the part I am making. Using the D hotkey, I dimensioned the part. That is the letter D, as in dingleberry, or dick cheese, or dirty pillows. After drawing the rectangle, I needed to draw the open circle thingy that actually goes over the piece that mounts the ear condoms to my head. I found the approximate center of the circle using the calipers and placed a construction line, or a line just for marking shit, but one that doesn't actually get built. I used the hotkey L to draw the line, and then the hotkey Q to make that line a construction line. That is L as in lame ass and Q as in queef. I took some measurements of the size of the open circle thingy and noticed that it was a bit more of an open rectangle. So I drew a center point rectangle. You can use the hotkey R as in Rowdy Rhonda receives Raunchy Randy's rim job. Then I use lines to draw another rectangle around the center point rectangle. We can use the trim tool to remove some of the lines that we don't want. The hotkey for this is the letter M, like Mary's Moist and Musky Milkers. Now we need to turn the little rectangle into the letter C. C as in the word I used to describe my old neighbor Patty. I marked a line that was half the distance of the width of the opening from the center point, and then used the mirror tool to draw another line that completed the opening. Keep in mind that the mirror tool needs a reference center line. Using Mary's Musty Moist Milkers again, I trim the opening. Next, I use the fillet tool to round the edges of the rectangle. The hotkey for this is the shift key plus the letter F, as in Fruity Furry Fairy Fuckers. The fillet tool rounds the edges of two intersecting lines and allows the user to specify how round, thick, and juicy they want their fillets. Then I spent the next 5 minutes realizing that I am going to look like a complete nutter jackass on YouTube while I tried to explain why I don't know the difference between a circle and a square. I changed the circle to a square, and then I frolicked with the Fruity Fairy Fuckers until I finally arrived at what I thought was something that resembled the profile of the part I was attempting to replicate. At this point, there really isn't anything else I can model on this part, so it's time to extrude it. Extruding parts gives them depth, like the exact opposite of all the jokes in this video so far. After extruding, I started a new sketch on the part's surface. The original part has a little circular recess where the ear cap connects. I modeled this on both sides despite the fact that 3D printed parts do not like overhangs, with the understanding that the underside would not print super well. This time, instead of using the extrude button to add material to the part, I selected remove to remove material. Or at least that's what I meant to do. I added some more fillets to the part to make it look a little bit nicer. Since this part was going to be 3D printed, it would be a wise idea to keep the fillet radius to a minimum in order to maximize the surface contact area with the print bed. I don't know about you, but I love maximizing contact with my bed. Never can get enough, should I? You might have noticed that there are two different fillets accessible in OnShape. One of these can be accessed from the sketch menu, which draws only fillets between two lines in 2D, and then the fillet that I am using right now that draws fillets in 3D. They both work the same, just slightly different applications. The last thing for me to do is draw a hole for the bar that connects the head strap to the ear cups. I literally have no idea if that's the right term for these parts. I'm not a headphone expert. Call me stupid in the comments if you must. Show me some love and subscribe while you're down there. After drawing the hole, I again go to the extrude menu, select remove, and in the drop-down menu that says blind, select through all. Normally, we would select how far we want the part to be extruded or how much we want to be removed, but by selecting through all, it will go through to infinity and beyond. So at this point, we can go ahead and make some final tweaks here and there, print the part, and see if it works. In my case, I did need to make some minor adjustments to the part after printing and then reprint. It might take one or two tries, but eventually you'll spend several hours of your time to save $20. Please consider subscribing to watch me make more financial mistakes.